Kachin state or Manipur and the Northeast has a very rich history. And during the Second World War, the British fought their greatest battle in Imphal, Kohima. And that is a virtue or testimony of how rich our history itself. Then when I was small, means like I used to see from the windows, means the Indian Air Force helicopter hovering around, and I used to think, oh, maybe someday I can be a pilot or something like that. But what should I say? Means like destiny, means like I was never good in maths, so I could not be a pilot. So I thought the next best thing to do is make miniature scale. So before I used to make with papers, then I realized that there are many hobbies related to this field, and one of them is called scale model. And scale model is something which is very interesting because many people take it inaccurately as toys, but it's not a toy, but it's a replica or exact ratio scale of the actual machine. It could be an aircraft, or it could be a tank, or it could be a submarine. But my fascination was always with the aircraft and the history related to our state, because like during Second World War, there was lots of air battle between the Royal Air Force and the Imperial Japanese Air Force, Army Air Force. So then I got a hook of it, means like, oh, okay, why not? I give it a shot. Then I started making small, means like models, means like 1:72 scale. Then I realized that I can make a bigger scale. So the bigger scales are 1:48 scales. And I guess that's how I started, means like fascinating with scale models. I started around 2008 because that was the first time I came to know about this hobby, because like I was in Mumbai buying some stuff, then I saw some airfix models, so I thought, this is very interesting because I've never seen this in Manipur. Yeah, that means like it's a good opportunity when you go to a big city, you are exposed to different things. So when I got the airfix kit and I started building the kit, and I got, this is very nice. So around 13 years now. I still remember it was a Airfix Spitfire Mark II, but as I was very new to the model, so I screw up and the model is now gone. In last 13 years, I have most probably built around more than 300 to 400 aircraft. But what I do is that since I'm in Mumbai, it's like the space is very limited. There are some people who really like the aircraft, but they don't know how to build it. So I just call them and we have a chit chat. I ask them what you're going to do with the model. They said they're going to keep it. Then, oh, that's fine. Means like I don't have space, so I'll donate some to you, but keep it properly. So it's part of your heritage and history. So around 300 to 400. It's an art, because like when you ask an artist how long does a paint take, so it's subjective. Means like you may do it rashly, but the paint will not look nice. But if you commit your time and do it gradually, then it will look very beautiful. So depending on your subject, it may take 2 to 3 days to a month, because like say if a person says, can you make a World War I aircraft? Then it's very hard, because World War I has lots of what you call wires. So the process is called rigging. So doing rigging is a very daunting task. So sometimes it takes lots of time. I don't want to disclose the amount, but I have spent quite a lot of money, because first thing when my salary is credited, then what I'll do is that I'll order the aircraft which I wanted to buy. See, the amount that I've spent is like roughly 10 years, 10 lakhs. Why I'm saying is that it's not I'll say affordable hobby. It's a little bit expensive, but yet it's very rewarding, because say if you want to build a Spitfire Mark 8, which was used in Battle of Imphal, not only when you source that model, it comes with lots of history. Then you'll have the urge to dig up the history, who has flown in Manipur, what score it has done. So the money you spend is an investment, but only that in return you get a lot of knowledge which will going to live on with you, because our history is slowly fading away. Means like I noticed these days. Then second is like, where do you source? Scale models in India is a very small community. We seldom have, or we have very small market, and there are very few shops. So what I do is that most of the time, if I have to buy a Japanese aircraft, I will generally go to a Japanese website or online portal. Then I will see which aircraft that I am interested, and I will buy. Then the only thing is that Japanese post is very good, but Indian custom can be a little bit problematic. So it gets stuck in the custom sometimes, and you need to go and explain it's not a RC model, but it's a scale model. When I was small, when my father used to go past through Koirengei, he used to say, hey, that's a World War II airfield. Then I used to think, oh, what kind of aircraft could be there when I was, when the war was fighting. But we cannot imagine it because the aircraft is not there. And the irony is that, what I feel very sad is that these days, some part of the army or some encouragement has been there, and slowly our history is fading away. Since Manipur to lots of British and Japanese, it's a pilgrimage destination because lots of their forefathers have fought it. It's very high time that we try to rejuvenate our history. And Koirengei, among the 6 major airfields, it's very important because during the Operation Thursday and all this thing, when the Allied soldiers were stuck, lots of C-47 Dakota was flown in, supplied, and how Imphal was saved from Japanese invasion. There are different narratives of history, what is good or bad, but it's high time. And beside that, what I wanted to say is that not only we restore the Koirengei Airfield and make a nice museum, we should keep a replica of 1:1 scale, because seeing in the internet and actually seeing, it's a totally different feeling. Because why I can say is that, whenever I have some free times or when I get leave from office, I try to visit the museum and see how the real aircrafts are there. How you can feel it. But the thing is that even though we have a rich culture, we don't have something to show. I don't know, I feel sad also. But I don't know, if the government can come up with a plan and say oh, okay, it is important and let's do it, then it will be a very nice for our generation to come, because otherwise the history will slowly fade away. A very, noble idea first. And it's also very, you are scaling your frontier, because if you're stuck with one particular thing, then you will never progress. But if you are given an opportunity to make something which is a replica of what it's actually been flown, then I have done my part to serve my land. And you should, in whatever field you have been, accomplished, if you can contribute to your society, then you have done significant. So yes, if the government can, or anybody who has come up with a plan, let's do it, then yes, I'll be there. I have met 2 or 3 types of people related to military, not necessarily World War II, because what I'm saying is that there is one who is into scale model, and they are very hardcore people because they know their subject very well, and it's very interesting talking with them because you learn something new every day. And beside that, there are people from Northeast who are really into military history, and even in Manipur, there is Tamo Rangam and Tamo Rajeshwar, which is also one of the pioneers who are rejuvenating our history. And when we have a conversation with them, you know so many things. Otherwise, the history could have been gone. Example, say they have found this particular artifacts. It could be an old, worn-out Japanese Arisaka rifle or a British Bren machine gun. But the thing is that some people might take it as a junk, or they will use as a garbage. But because of their awareness, they say, oh, there's a significance, and that's how we preserve our history, small step at a time. But awareness is also very important, and meeting those people are one of the, good essence of learning history.
There no kono gabu. ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯒꯤꯗꯒꯤꯅꯦ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟꯁꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯄꯥꯝꯕꯅꯦ ꯍꯣꯕꯤꯅꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯆꯍꯤ ꯑꯉꯥꯡ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯔ ꯆꯠ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯄꯗ ꯎꯄꯥꯛꯅ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟꯁꯦ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯎꯅ ꯆꯤꯡꯉꯒ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯅꯤꯡꯁꯤꯡꯕꯗ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯄꯥꯝꯖꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯎꯄꯥꯛ ꯈꯔ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯒ ꯆꯥꯎꯔꯛꯄꯁꯤꯗ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯃꯆꯥ ꯁꯦꯝꯃꯒ ꯆꯤꯊꯤ ꯊꯥꯅꯩ ꯃꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯃꯁꯦꯟ ꯑꯗ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟ ꯑꯃꯃꯝ ꯌꯦꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯒꯅꯦꯆꯔ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯁꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟꯁꯤ ꯊꯥꯔꯛꯑꯗꯤ ꯁꯤ ꯇꯣꯝꯅꯤ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯇꯣꯝꯃꯤꯅꯤ ꯃꯕꯥꯅꯤꯃꯛ ꯆꯞ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯩꯑꯕ ꯑꯗ ꯃꯕꯥꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯈꯦꯠꯅꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ ꯇ꯭ꯋꯤꯟꯁ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯁꯨ ꯃꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯑꯟꯑꯥꯏꯗꯦꯟꯇꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯦꯀꯣ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯄꯨꯔꯥ ꯆꯣꯏꯁꯁꯦ ꯄꯨꯔꯥ ꯗꯤꯐ꯭ꯔꯦꯟꯠꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯁꯨ ꯑꯣꯟꯂꯤ ꯃꯕꯥꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕꯁꯦ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟꯒ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯩꯒ BBC ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨꯁꯀ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯁꯤꯃ ꯈꯛꯇꯪꯗꯤ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯗꯩꯁꯤꯗ ꯈꯦꯠꯅꯕ ꯂꯩꯇ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯇꯩꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛ ꯃꯕꯥꯅꯤꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯇ꯭ꯋꯤꯟꯁ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯈꯦꯠꯅꯕꯤꯅꯤ ꯄꯥꯝꯗꯕꯗꯤ ꯁꯤ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯄꯦꯔꯦꯟꯁ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯆꯥꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯀꯦꯔꯤꯌꯔ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯐꯦꯁꯟꯗꯨꯗ ꯂꯥꯏꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯏꯟꯖꯤꯅꯤꯌꯥꯔꯤꯡꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯅꯤꯅ ꯏꯟꯖꯤꯅꯤꯌꯥꯔꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯄꯥꯝꯖꯩ ꯃꯄꯥꯅ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯆꯟꯒꯦꯅ ꯃꯥ 12 ꯄꯥꯁ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯨꯗ ꯄꯥꯝꯖꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯀꯦꯔꯤꯌꯔꯁꯤ ꯇꯦꯂꯤꯀꯝꯃꯨꯅꯤꯀꯦꯁꯟ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯤꯗ ꯏꯂꯦꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯣꯅꯤꯛꯁ ꯑꯦꯟ ꯇꯦꯂꯤꯀꯝꯃꯨꯅꯤꯀꯦꯁꯟ ꯇꯧꯒꯦꯅ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯆꯟꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯥꯔꯦ ꯊꯥꯕꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯆꯟꯕꯁꯦ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯇꯧꯕꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯥ ꯈꯜꯂꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯕꯅꯤ나 ꯑꯗꯩꯗ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯨꯜꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯒꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯦꯘꯥꯂꯌꯥ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯤꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯅꯦꯔꯤꯁꯀꯨꯝꯕꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯔꯤꯖꯅꯦꯜ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯤꯅ ꯏꯟꯁꯇꯤꯇ꯭ꯌꯨꯁꯟꯁꯤꯅ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯇꯝꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯁꯤ ꯈꯔ ꯗꯣꯅꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯒꯦꯔꯥ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯀꯣꯂꯦꯖꯇ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯆꯜꯂꯒꯦꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯗ ꯃꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯍꯪꯉꯦ ꯃꯁꯥꯒꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯐꯦꯁꯟꯁꯤꯗ ꯅꯪ ꯄꯥꯝꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯆꯜꯂꯒꯦ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯗ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯄꯩꯁా ꯊꯤꯖꯤꯜꯂꯨꯔꯒ ꯇꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯥꯡꯅꯤ ꯅꯪ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯄꯥꯝꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯣ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯖꯕ ꯑꯩ ꯈꯔ ꯇꯝꯖꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯀꯦ ꯅꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯖꯕꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯣꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯩ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯑꯄꯥꯝꯕꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯇꯝꯅꯤꯡꯉꯦ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯃꯥ ꯇꯝꯅꯤꯡꯕꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯑꯦ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯕꯣꯝꯕꯦꯗ ꯆꯠꯈꯤꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯛꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯉꯩ ꯕꯣꯝꯕꯦ ꯆꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯉꯩ ꯃꯥꯁ ꯀꯣꯝ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯉꯩꯁꯤꯗꯗꯤ ꯃꯥ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯆꯠꯂꯤ ꯐꯤꯂꯝꯗ ꯀꯔꯤꯗ ꯊꯋꯥꯏ ꯌꯥꯎꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯐꯣꯇꯣꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯐꯤꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯦꯟ ꯐꯣꯇꯣꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯐꯤꯅꯤ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯂꯩ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯍꯣꯕꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯩ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯅꯝꯕ ꯂꯩ ꯃꯈꯜꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯦꯜꯕꯝ 10-20 ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯊꯝꯃꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯏ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯃꯥ ꯕꯣꯝꯕꯦ ꯆꯠꯂꯒꯦꯅ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯆꯠꯂꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯅꯪ ꯀꯩ ꯇꯧꯗꯣꯏꯕ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯐꯤꯛ ꯗꯤꯖꯥꯏꯟ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯃꯗꯨꯒ ꯈꯔ ꯇꯧꯒꯦꯅ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯆꯠꯂꯣ ꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯗꯤ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯩ ꯉꯥꯛꯇꯅꯦ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯈꯪꯗꯕ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛ ꯄꯥꯗꯕ ꯂꯩꯗꯕꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯔꯣꯏ ꯗꯤꯃꯥꯟ ꯁꯨꯡꯇꯧ ꯇꯧꯗꯦ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯣꯀꯦꯠ ꯃꯅꯤꯗꯒꯤꯔ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯨꯕꯗ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯥ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯀꯝꯄꯅꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯃꯥ ꯖꯣꯏꯟ ꯇꯧꯔꯦ ꯈꯣꯠꯂꯦ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯩꯁꯨ ꯄꯩꯁꯥ ꯅꯪ ꯐꯔꯦ ꯅꯪ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯀ꯭ꯔꯣꯁꯇꯤ ꯇꯥꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯅꯪ ꯅꯁꯥ ꯅꯊꯟꯗ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯕ ꯉꯝꯖꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯄꯩꯁꯥꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯍꯣꯕꯤꯁꯤꯗ ꯀꯥꯏꯊꯣꯛꯆꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯁꯤꯃ ꯂꯩꯒꯦꯅ ꯗꯤꯃꯥꯟ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯄꯗꯤ ꯁꯨꯡꯂꯩ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯐꯥꯎꯏ ꯈꯔꯕꯨꯗꯤ ꯁꯥꯎꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯅꯣꯡ ꯐꯥꯗꯣꯛꯀꯗꯤ ꯅꯪꯁꯤꯕꯨ ꯀꯥꯁꯥꯝ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯁꯤ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯥꯡ ꯂꯩꯔꯦꯅꯦꯅ ꯁꯥꯎꯅꯤꯡꯕꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯌꯥꯎꯋꯦ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯁꯥꯎꯅꯤꯡꯉꯒꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯁꯥꯎꯕꯁꯨ ꯎꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯖꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯎꯄꯥꯏ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯥ ꯀꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯣꯏꯅꯣ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯗꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯁꯞꯄꯣꯔꯠꯅꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯨ ꯁꯞꯄꯣꯔꯠꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯁꯥꯎꯅꯤꯡꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯅꯣꯡ ꯐꯥꯗꯣꯛꯇꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯪꯁꯤ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯉꯥꯎꯗꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔ ꯅꯪ ꯍꯣꯕꯤꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯈꯔꯁꯨ ꯇꯧ ꯀꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅꯁꯨ ꯆꯩꯗꯦ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅꯁꯨ ꯁꯥꯎꯗꯦ ꯁꯥꯎꯔꯁꯨ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯗ꯭ꯔꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯁꯥꯎꯕꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯞꯅꯤ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯐꯕꯅꯦꯗꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯦꯜ ꯃꯣꯗꯦꯜ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦꯀꯣ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯦꯜ ꯃꯣꯗꯦꯜꯁꯤ ꯇꯁꯦꯡꯅꯗꯤ ꯑꯉꯥꯡ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯒꯤ ꯇꯣꯏ ꯐꯦꯛꯇꯔꯤ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯐꯪꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯇꯤ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯗꯒꯤ ꯆꯦꯜꯂꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯆꯦꯜꯂꯤꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯦ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯆꯦꯟꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯅꯤ ꯏꯆꯝ ꯆꯝꯕ ꯑꯔꯥꯏꯕ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯑꯃ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯁꯤ ꯈꯪꯕꯤꯔꯒ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯄꯦꯔꯦꯟꯁꯀꯤꯕꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯁꯞꯄꯣꯔꯠ ꯂꯩꯔꯦꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯌꯦꯡꯕꯗ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯁꯨ ꯏꯟꯁꯄꯥꯌꯔ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡ ꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯧ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯆꯠꯆꯔꯗꯤ ꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯔꯤꯌꯦꯂꯤꯇꯤꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯊꯧꯁꯤ ꯄꯥꯏꯁꯤ ꯁꯥꯁꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯂꯩꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯃꯥꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯦꯅ ꯍꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯦꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤꯗꯗꯤ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯅꯧꯅ ꯏꯟꯁꯄꯥꯌꯔ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯟꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯤꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯩꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯁꯤ ꯉꯝ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯃꯥ ꯁꯄꯣꯁ ꯑꯦꯔꯣꯅꯣꯇꯤꯛ ꯏꯟꯖꯤꯅꯤꯌꯥꯔ ꯇꯝꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯄꯥꯏꯕ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯛꯄꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯕꯅ ꯍꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨ ꯃꯣꯗꯦꯜꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯅꯧꯕ ꯇꯦꯛꯅꯣꯂꯣꯖꯤ ꯍꯥꯞꯆꯤꯜꯂꯒ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯤ ꯀꯩꯁꯨ ꯀꯥꯏꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯁꯨ ꯏꯟꯁꯄꯥꯌꯔ ꯑꯣꯏꯌꯦꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯦ ꯑꯩꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯣꯏꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯣꯏꯗ ꯐꯔ ꯐꯔ ꯃꯥ ꯈꯔ ꯇꯧꯖꯕꯁꯦ ꯈꯪꯕꯤꯗꯅ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯤꯁꯦ ꯕꯦꯡꯒ꯭ꯂꯣꯔꯒꯤ ꯍꯦꯔꯣ ꯁꯣꯁꯤ ꯌꯦꯡ ꯆꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯃꯥ ꯆꯠꯂꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯅꯣꯡꯃ ꯂꯥꯏꯠ ꯑꯃꯈꯛꯇꯪꯒꯤ ꯖꯔꯅꯤꯅꯤꯗꯅ ꯃꯁꯥꯁꯤꯗ ꯁꯣꯛꯑꯝꯒꯅꯦꯕ ꯄꯥꯝꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯃꯊꯪꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯣꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯥꯁꯤꯗ
나동대 지난 보고 있잖아. 시제.
그동안 또 우리가 ꯈꯪꯗꯕ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯔꯣꯏ ꯂꯥꯏꯔꯤꯛꯁꯤ ꯄꯥꯕ